This is dog food day. I've got the dog food in the jars ready to roll. It's just a combination. There's tons of recipes, but mine's got chicken. I use chicken breast if I can get them, and some chicken liver, chicken gizzards, and then I do fresh veggies and some turmeric, ginger, cilantro, parsley, a little bit of garlic. There's a little bit of everything in there, so I don't really have a recipe for you. I just kind of throw everything in there, but use whatever recipe you got. But they're in the glass jars. I've got my lids and rings here on the stove, and they're pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to wipe down the tops of these jars and get the lids and rings on them, and then we're going to put them in the canner, and we're going to take that thing outside, and we're going to can these outside today. Okay, all I'm going to do is just take the jar, and I'm going to just wipe off the top of that glass rim there to make sure there's nothing on it, and carefully fish out a lid in the gasket. Ooh, those are hot. Just going to stick that on the top, and on these reusable lids I like to just hold my finger on there and twist that just until the jar turns on its own, and I leave it at that, and that's plenty tight enough. You would probably want to go a little bit tighter on a conventional lid, but these reusable ones are a little bit thicker and they don't seal well, I've found, if you tighten them down real tight. I'll wait till after they're out of the canner and then really crank them down. So let me get these ready, and then we'll put them in the canner. Just drop that aside there. I've got this burner off of an old charcoal grill propane grill that I use to, I've got these brackets on the side of the bus, and this will just hang on there so I can cook these outside. So that just hangs on there, but the canner's got a lot of weight, so I'm going to take one of my hiking sticks and just prop up under the outside of it. Just to make sure that it doesn't get overloaded and break. So let me get the canner. Okay. Okay, I usually just, I probably put more water in my canner than most people do, but I don't like it to boil dry while I'm canning, because these are quart jars. They're going to go for 90 minutes, so that's an hour and a half. So make sure you have enough water in there to handle it. I don't think you can put too much water in the canners, to be honest with you, but you can certainly not put enough, so you just don't want to boil them dry. Okay, just gonna leave it on high until it starts steaming, and then we'll throw a weight on it. So now it's just time to wait. At this point, the hard part's done. We just have to wait for the steam to start coming out, and then we'll cap it and let it go for 90 minutes, and then let it cool off and pull the jars out and let them set overnight. So at this point, we're good. But we can go do other things. Okay, this is what we're looking for. I hope you can see this, but we're looking for a steady stream of steam coming out of this vent. Okay, once we start getting a steady stream of steam out of there, all we're going to do is take our weight, and you'll need to check the manual in your canner. For my elevation, we're looking at the 15-pound weight, and we basically just stick her on there. So this gauge will start to rise as the pressure builds up, and I'll let you see that as it builds up there, but it'll take it a while. Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to take advantage of waiting for the cooker to build pressure and get me a fire going for people food. Yeah, this is what we're listening for right here. So at this point we can turn the temperature down just a little bit, but we don't want it to stop completely. We want it to continue to jiggle. So since that stopped, I'm going to let it go ahead and just stay at this temperature for a bit. Now this is called this jiggler part is actually called a weighted gauge, because it only jiggles when it hits the certain weight of 15 pounds psi. And then this is called a geared gauge, the other one, and they're pretty close. So I use this all the time, so it gets used several times in a month. Well, every 2 weeks to make dog food. But anyway, so if you're ever in doubt, you can but always trust your weighted gauge over your geared gauge. To be honest, the geared gauge can get out of calibration. The weight never really changes, and somebody might differ with that. I don't know that I'm 100% accurate, but all I know is I've used this all my life, so take that for what you will. But once again, my videos are not instructional, they're just showing you what I do. Alright, now this is up to pressure, temperature. I've gone ahead and set a timer for an hour and a half, 90 minutes, since we're using quartz, and we'll just let it go, and at the end of that 90 minutes, we'll turn it off. Okay, this is timer's gone off. I went ahead and just turned the fire off under this, and we're going to let it set. You cannot open it right now because there's way too much pressure. It'll be very bad. So just going to let this set until the gauge gets down to 0, and then we'll pull that weight off and set another timer for 10 minutes. Okay, this pressure is almost down to nothing. I'm going to go ahead and slowly pull this weighted gauge off here, and it's still going to let a little bit of pressure out. So that's going to let it come out slowly. Be sure you put something over your hand, because this is going to be really hot steam coming out here. I'm just going to let it go ahead and hit 0, and when it quits hissing, I'm going to set another timer for 10 more minutes. And then we'll take the lid off of it, and we'll let it set for another 10 minutes, and then basically just take them out, crank down the lids on them, and let them set till tomorrow. Alright, see you in 10 minutes. Okay, so our 10 minutes is up, and I'm going to take this lid off now, and let me get my gloves. Again, this is going to be very hot for quite a while, so always use something to keep yourself from getting burnt. I'm going to crack this lid out here because it's easier, and then I'm going to take this inside, and I'll explain that momentarily. Alright, set this up here and get this lid off. Set that in the sink. Now that the lid's off, I'm going to set another timer for another 10 minutes. And just let this sit here and chill for about 10 minutes. Alright, so now the reason that I am letting these set for another 10 minutes with the lid off, and I brought them inside, is at this stage in the game, these glass jars are like really hot, and just the slightest breeze or temperature differential across of them can actually cause them to crack. So again, we're letting them cool down in the water that they're in for another 10 minutes, and then at that point I'm going to take them out, and I'm going to tighten the lids as tight as I can do them by hand, and I'm going to set them over here just on a rag on the counter. And they're kind of protected back here between everything, and there's not any chance of any errant wind getting on them. I've got this window closed. And then like I said, I'll just let them set until tomorrow, and they'll seal up on their own. So and that's pretty much all there is to it as far as that goes. So anybody can do this. If you've got room for something like this, and you've not tried it, don't be afraid of it. If I can do it, you can do it. And yeah, it's just it's a great way to keep things preserved without having to worry about the refrigerator, or not even having a refrigerator, or if the power goes out. This stuff, it'll just keep. So I'll probably make another batch of this in another day or two after I recoup from some other things that's going on, and then I can try to get like a month out. That's where I like to be. But I have the extra room. Not everybody's got the room I've got. Some people have way more room than I have. Some people have a lot less. I mean, Jesus, if you're in a Prius or something, I don't know. You'd have to be very, very cautious about what you take with you. But luckily, being in a short bus, and then I have my cabin and I'm on my own property, I have plenty of room to store things. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut this off, and I will bring you back after I pull the jars out and let you see them. It's kind of neat because the liquid will still be boiling in the jars for hours after they come out. So anyway, I'll be bringing you back for that. Okay, campfire's fine, and the 10-minute timer has gone off once again. So let's get these jars out of here. They make fancy lifting tools for canning. You can spend your money on what you want, but I'll tell you, just a good set of work gloves works pretty well. And we're just going to pull these out slowly, and I'm just going to tighten that down as tight as I can and settle on a rag. And we're going to do this with all 7 of them. Okay, those are all out. Like I said, they will be boiling in the jars for hours upon hours after coming out of there, but we're just going to let them set overnight, and our job's done. So now it's time to focus more on people food. Okay, check this out. I want to share something funny with you guys. I was checking the tire pressure on one of the tires the other day, and I looked down and was looking for one of these things right here. And you see the little stem on the end of it there? There's another one I think right up back there. That's right there. That's the one for the rear one. Anyway, I'm really making that little spider mad. So I reached down to take the cap off of what I thought it was the cap. So I grabbed what I thought was the cap, and I thought, boy, that feels weird, and I squeezed it, and it shot back out of my hand and shot up inside the tire, and I thought, what was that? It was a snake. I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought it was the tire fill stem, and it was a snake, and I don't know who was more excited, me or the snake. But we both went our separate ways. This is looking like a really nice fire. Look at that. Should be some good coals in there. Now I'm going to scoop some potatoes into there and let them start cooking, and then we'll put a steak on there after these cook for a while. Now, I want to scoop some coals out here. This is going to probably seem a little weird. You're going to be, hey man, come on a second there. Like, you're supposed to put those potatoes in some aluminum foil, but you don't have to do that. It doesn't hurt to put them in foil if you want to, but you can drop these just right down in the fire. I like to stick them in there and just bury some coals up around them. Really don't want them in the fire, just cover it up a little bit. It's really hard to do this with one hand, but we're just going to stick them right in there. just like that. And I'll keep covering them up as I get more coals. Just trust me on this one. It'll work. Now I'm just going to leave those in there to cook for probably about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'll check on them. Sophie girl, you don't get all worked up too much. Just food time, huh? Are you hungry? Is this looking good to you? Gotta leave a little bit for noodle girl. My goodness, don't waste all your energy. You'll need a nap. You'll need a nap. You won't go sit out by the campfire. You don't mind if I clean this out first, do you? Really? Ladies want beef tonight? Is that what you want? What, you gonna get down, are you? Oh yeah? Does it make you sneeze? Is that what it does? This isn't the real good stuff. I made the real good stuff today, but you can have this today. Oh yeah. What was that? Have a mess with it enough if you want it. Okay gang, while we're waiting on potatoes to cook, the girls are eating their dinner and it's hot. I want something cool after dinner. So I'm thinking it's a perfect night for ice cream. Got a super simple recipe. I don't normally share them, but this is so easy that yeah, I'm going to share it with you. We're going to put a quarter can of this sweetened condensed milk and that's all that's left here because I've been making ice cream. So I'm putting the rest of this, but a quarter can, and the measurements do not have to be exact. Anybody knows me, I don't measure anything. I'm a good enough kind of fella. And yes, in case you're wondering, this is the exact same spoon that I made the dog's food with, because we only have one. I washed it. It's clean. But it's probably bugging a lot of you that this has been in the dog's food bowl, hasn't it? Tell me how bad it bothers you. Alright, so you come on, Silver, go on, go. Go on, out you go. Alrighty. Quarter can of condensed, a whole can of evaporated. Supposed to shake them up first. And we're going to dump that in the, you can't quite see the bucket, but I'm pouring it into the little ice cream bucket here. That vanilla, and I know it's isn't real, it's just imitation, but it's okay. I put 3 of these capfuls in there. 1, 2, and 3. And that is it. That's it. That'll be some of the best vanilla ice cream you've ever had. Sometimes if I want strawberry, I just add some strawberry powdered milk into it. Again, I don't have set measurements, but that's pretty much it. So we're just gonna stick this guy inside of this guy. So that just goes in there, and your beater head just sits down on the top of it, and there you go. It'll just make ice cream. It takes it about 30 or 45 minutes. And I'm telling you, it's some of the best ice cream in the world. For a fellow that's had to hand crank it for years, this is phenomenal. Anyway, I'm gonna go check on my potatoes. Alrighty. Want to get a steak on this thing here. Get on the fire. Now stick out like that. You back there a little bit. Alright. Man, good ribeye. Been marinating all day. I think ribeye has got to be my favorite steak cut. What is yours? Just so you know, if you say anything other than ribeye, you would be wrong. My nephew believes a New York strip is the perfect cut. He's mistaken. Look at that. Now that is beautiful. Say it with me. Ribeye. Look at that. Ooh, those potatoes look awesome inside. Look at that. Man, those look good. Look at that. Look at that. Done, done, done. They look great. Alrighty. Look at that. Alrighty. I'm taking this inside and I'm going to have my dinner and then I'm going to have some ice cream. So I'll check back in with you later. Okay, this ice cream is done and I want to give you a look at it real quick. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, looks so good. My goodness, that is so good and so cold. It's awesome. And yes, it's still the same spoon. Well, gang, I think that's it for me. I believe we've spent the entire day together today. I kind of like just hanging out and making videos for you guys. So yeah, it's kind of more of a laid-back pace, I think, today. If you like it, let me know. If not, let me know. It's all good. So anyway, I'm going to sit here and just watch this fire die down and enjoy the rest of my evening. And I hope you guys do exactly the same thing. Have a great evening. If you like the videos, give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe it, and tell your friends to come on out and just hang out with us on YouTube. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you in the next video. God bless everybody.